Question: what has more than 100 reefs and islands and has been claimed by 5 different countries and has been the center of political disputes since the 1900s? The answer:
The Philippines will keep patrolling the Spratly Islands.
Bagong isla sa Spratlys.
the Spratly Islands can be located off the coast of Philippines and Malaysia. This region has been claimed by both of these nations as well as China, Vietnam, Brunei, and Taiwan for a very long time. Currently, the countries fighting over it are China and Philippines. Hi, I'm Dale Anthony Gatewood from VetM1B, here to talk about the ongoing territorial dispute for Spratly Island between China and Philippines. Here we are also going to be looking at its history and the historical evidence that the Philippines offers as a defense for its right of ownership towards the islands. These are pictures taken by the Philippines Daily Inquirer in 7 reefs in the Spratly Islands. It shows that the China's process of militarizing the reefs is almost finished. The International Tribunal in The Hague, Netherlands in 2016 rejected China's argument that it enjoys historic rights over the most of South China Sea. But these pictures clearly show that China has built a massive runway on Mischief Reef, which the tribunal rules was Philippine waters, including radio towers and radiometers often used in military communication. Smaller reefs have wind turbines, helipads, and communication towers. Transport ships are also sighted, which are designed to carry armored vehicles, and up to 800 troops have been also spotted. So, you may be asking, what can the Spratly Islands have to offer which makes these countries go crazy for it? Combined, they barely have 4 square kilometers of land, spread out in over 450,000 kilometers of sea. This makes construction of infrastructures almost impossible and making the islands uninhabitable. Well, this is due to the island's rich marine ecosystem, gas and oil deposits, an ideal location for military strategies. Currently, it is estimated to have 11 billion barrels of oil, 190 trillion feet of natural gas, and 10% of the world's fisheries. Most importantly though, is that 30% of the world's shipping trade flows through here to the booming population centers and economic markets of Southeast Asia. Now that's a lot of natural resources, am I right? That is why everyone would want it, especially China and Philippines. So, what are the evidences Philippines, our country, have to offer to prove that it truly is the right owner of the islands? Well, for that, we need to go back a few hundred years in our history. Look presented arguments of the Philippines. The Philippines' claims are based on sovereignty over the Spratlys on the issues of Resnolians and geography. Resnolians literally means nobody's property or a thing which has no owner. Geography is the study of places, the relationship between people and their environments. The Philippines contended their claim was res nullius, as there was no effective sovereignty over the islands until the 1930s when France, then Japan, acquired the islands. When Japan renounced their sovereignty over the islands according to the San Francisco Treaty, there was a relinquishment of the right to the islands without any special beneficiary. Therefore, the islands became res nullius, or no one's property and available for annexation or occupation according to the claim. History of Spratly Island. Its discovery began when Captain George Herbert Mead, who was exploring the South China Sea that time, laid claim to the islands in 1870s. In 1956, a private Filipino citizen, owner of a fishing vessel company, and establisher of PMI, Tomas Cloma, explored the Spratly Islands unilaterally declared ownership on the 56 islands and reefs in the South China Sea, calling it Freedom Land. In response, the Republic of China moved into the islands as well to occupy it, but Clamo already filed and pleaded for its ownership in the face of United Nations in New York in October of 1956. In December 1974, Coloma was arrested and forced to sign a document to convey to the Philippine government whatever rights he might have in the territories. So Coloma sold his claim to the islands to the Philippine government, which annexed the islands in 1978 and renamed them Kalayaan Islands. On 11th of June 1978, President Ferdinand Marcos of the Philippines issued Presidential Decree number 1596 declaring the Spratly Islands, referred to therein as the Kalayaan Island Group, as Philippine territories. A second argument used by the Philippines regarding the geographical claim over the islands is that all the islands claimed by the Philippines lie within its 200-mile exclusive economic zone. According to the United Nations Convention on the Law of Sea, a country's territorial waters extend 200 miles away from its shore and are called exclusive economic zones or EEZ. Countries have exclusive rights to all resources within the EEZ. The Philippines also contend under maritime law that the People's Republic of China cannot extend its baseline claims to the Spratlys because the PRC is not an archipelagic state. Despite Philippines winning the favor of the tribunal in The Hague, Netherlands against China's claim of Spratly Islands last July 12, 2016, China still continues to ignorantly claim it by force by using military force to strike fear and dominion in the islands. This problem of the territorial dispute is still ongoing, but the Philippines can't do anything because they are reluctant to make aggressive claims over the Spratly Islands in fear of military retaliation from China. So, should we all just give up on reclaiming the Spratly Islands? No, because we have the favor of the majority of the world, which is even more advantage than China has. Many argue that Philippines should take the sovereignty over Spratly Islands because it has had the most success and experience with maintaining marine ecosystems, plus the islands are well within the Philippine exclusive economic zone, which should be respected by China. Even more so, China is at the wrong here because they are taking advantage of our incapability of competing with their military forces to take the islands, which is really belittling and disrespectful, not just to us Filipinos, but to the eyes of the world. In all this, let's all just hope that this dispute will be solved peacefully without the two countries resorting to violent actions. Once again, I am Dale Anthony Greeting Chewy from Vet M1B presenting to you the history of the territorial dispute in Spratly Islands.